Nice. So so basically, this is what my VMware VM virtual box. Okay, so if you look into this, so okay, I can stop and come from the scratch. Okay, so this is the pop-up mode. So here, generally, if I see the four as of now, okay, it's a 64 Linux environment, okay, and I will just put 4 GB memory. Okay, basically 4 GB is good enough for our usage and all. So usually, I mean, in the real time, that's completely different. And in the real time, if you see, I mean, there is a document I have shared it to you. In that document, is a clear picture about how much memory we need to keep it and the other things and all it is there. Okay, so for this testing purpose, for my system, I have put 4 GB. Okay, I can even increase to another 1 GB. That's not a problem because mine is 12 GB plus 8 GB cached laptop. So fine, okay. So this is the process, and the two CPUs I have added. Okay, so that's all is the initial setting. Okay, so once after starting the operating system, I'll show you the internal what are all settings I have done. Okay, so let me start it. Basically, this is Oracle Enterprise Linux OEL 6.6. Okay, so I'm just logging as a root user. Okay, this is the desktop version basically. Okay, so the typical desktop version of OEL Oracle Enterprise Linux server is this one. So maybe in the real time, definitely you won't be getting this desktop version. Okay, usually what Oracle, sorry, operating system users will be doing is they'll be creating some users and they will be giving that username and password to you, and they will assign the necessary responsibilities. I mean, necessary privileges and all they will assign to you. Okay, so you won't be seeing this desktop version in real time. Okay, just for your information I'm showing you, and in the real time how it will be also I will show you here. Okay, so usually you will be using PuTTY. I mean, you must be aware. I mean, in the PoreDB and all you must be aware of this information, and you would have done some practice also. So most of the people will be using PuTTY client. I mean, it's a freeware and you can download. It's a very lightweight software. You can download it from Google. Okay, so it looks like this. It looks like this, and you can set your servers and all you can set, and some settings also you can do. Okay, that we can see later. So this is what, and if you see here, this is what my Linux terminal inside that. So if I say df minus h, okay, so we'll be seeing 150 GB of space I have added to this, and in that 50 GB is used. Okay, so next, right? Okay, so here, okay, let me open the document. Here. Okay, fine. Okay, before that, a couple of Linux commands and all I will be showing to you. So basically, the network related things, like if you want to see what is your IP configuration and all, okay, there is a command called IP config. Sorry. So ifconfig. Ipconfig is a Windows. So you would be seeing what is the IP address you got. Okay, so 192.168.1.8, and accordingly you need to connect. Okay, so here this VM box I'm using as a server, and my desktop as a client. So I have virtually I have created client server architecture in my laptop. The same thing will be happening to you in the Oxwave. So Oxwave will be, I mean, there they will be installing the server, and they will be giving the credentials and all to you, and you would be logging from your end. You know, you would be logging by using Qt server. Okay, so the related information and the Oxwave will be sharing to you. All right. So the here if you see, okay, 192.168 to 1.8. So how it is configured and all, you know. So there is a way. Okay, so usually these things under system administrators will be doing. Okay, if you know, it's well and good. It's an added advantage for you. And if you want to configure your laptop, or if you want to install VMware on your personal server and all, this knowledge will be helpful to you. Okay, so in the system, okay, in the preferences, if you see network connections. So this window you would see, and I have already configured this, and if you see edit, so here IPv4 settings, there is a by default I have given the automatic, that is the reason it has been. And if you want to give anything, you know, you can put manual and you can assign your own IP address and that. Okay, so that is how we will be configuring. Once you configure here, and if you see IP address and ifconfig, if you give, you would be getting this. Okay, so here if you really want it, okay, suppose you have done a couple of changes to your network, and if you wanted to reboot your network settings alone, each and every time, you don't need to reboot your Windows, I mean your server. Okay, and there is a command called network sorry, service network restart. Okay, so when you give this, you know, automatically it would be restarting all your network configurations and all, and whatever changes you have made it to your configuration, you know, that will be affected to you. Okay, so this is how. And see, basically this 192.168 1.8. Okay, so I mean, this is what our server name, and the same thing would be configuring in the etc host also, which I will be explaining you after some time. So with this one, you know, I mean, once someone gives to you, okay, this particular IP address, normally they won't be giving you IP address, they will be giving the machine name. Basically, they will configure the machine name and they will be giving to you. And there is a file called etc host. Okay, so in that, you know, you would be assigning the server name, domain name, and all to your machine. Okay, so if, the file will be under etc host. etc host. So if you see 192.168.1.8 against, I have put my server name. Okay, so you see host name, mcode10 is my server name, and oracle.com is the domain name. So here mcode10 oracle.com and mcode10. So from right now onwards, you know, I don't need to use the IP address anywhere. Simply if I use mcode10, that would be good enough. That would be good enough. Okay, so whether to I mean, just to know whether this mcode10 rightly configured or not, you can say ping mcode10. It should respond. Okay, so like this it should respond, or ping mcode10.oracle.com. Okay, so again it should respond. So then your etc host configured nicely. Otherwise, suppose let's say ping mcode1235, if I give it, I mean, if that has not configured well, you know, it will hang like this. Okay, so let's say ping 192.168.1.8. Okay, so it is responding, right? Okay, the same thing, like next to mcode, whatever port number you have added here, whatever IP address you have added here, we can straight away we can use that. By any chance ping 192.168.1.111. So host, I mean unknown host, this kind of error it would be giving. Okay, so even I mean this would be will be using like from, I mean, if you install a multi-node installation. Okay, if you are going for the multi-node installation from node 1 to node 2, whether it is responding or not, and you know, you will be checking like this: ping node 2. From node 1 you will say ping node 2. Okay, from node 2 ping node 1. Okay, something like that. And also when you are transferring the files from one server to another server, you know, you need to use FTP. Okay, so SFTP or FTP are some tools you will be using, or WinSCP or something. So with the for those tools and all, you need to use this IP configuration. Okay, either you need to use the IP address or you need to use the machine name. Okay, just a minute, guys. You must be hearing some background noise, right? Some started playing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So this is what when you are transferring the files from one server to another server, and again you need to use this host name and the IP address and all. Okay, so that's what, and so this IP address, and that one, it is first before connecting to the from the client. Before connecting, we need to make sure that whether it is responding or not. Okay, so just open a command prompt, ping -c 192.168 and 1.8. So whether it is responding or not, this is very important basically. If it is not replying well, okay, then your server is not configured, and again you need to go back to the guy like who has set up this it's operating system guy, and you need to make sure whether it is replying properly or not. Once it is done, yes, you can use the putty session. So this is called putty. Okay. Okay. If you are already know, just bear with me. I'm just explaining you once again just to feel like it's a recap. So here you need to provide either host name or IP address. Okay. So if you configure the same thing, if you configure in your etc host, in your system etc host, then directly you can use a host name, or you can use IP address here. Okay. 1.8. Okay. So see this one again and again, if you use see, it will be asking login as something like that. Suppose if you are using again and again, then you can save it. You can save as a session here. So you put in 192 8. Okay, and it's encoded 10. So save. So there will be one session. So something like what I will be. In my real time, how I would be doing is I'll say 8 mcoded 10. Okay, dot oracle.com hyphen test 1 or test 2 or test development 1 or development 2, something like that I will be configuring. And whenever this will be permanent, and whenever I double click that, next time onwards I don't need to give the username, password, and I don't need to give the IP address and the other stuff. Okay, so it will be saving, and whatever background colors and that you have set. Okay, so usually how in my environment, all the productions I will be keeping in the red color background. Okay, all the test environments in the blue color, all the development environments in the yellow color, and all I can set. Okay, so if you want to change, okay, so you can go to the settings and you can see the colors. So you can choose background default background color. Here I have given as a and you click on modify. You can select whatever you want, and you can put. Okay, if you want yellow, if you put yellow, automatically yellow will come. Okay, so something like that, I'll be saving by default. I would be sorry. Yeah, this will be comfortable for you basically. Okay, this color. So in my environment I would be saving like this, so to avoid the confusion, like the moment I by any chance sometimes you may log into the wrong environment. Okay, instead of logging into mcoded 10, you might log into mcoded 12 or 13, which is a development environment. So this kind of confusion you can avoid by saying this. So normally in every environment it would be same. Okay, so some people will be logging. The moment you log in, automatically a text message will come in the red color, like this is the production without any approvals. Do not touch any of the file system. Do not delete any of the file system. For any queries, so please contact so and so person, and they will be keeping in the bash RC, and that would be coming the moment you give the username and password. That message would be coming to you, and just for your conscious purpose, see, for your conscious purpose, like instead of, I mean, to avoid the manual mistakes. Okay, suppose you need to apply a patch, you need to run auto config, you need to change a parameter, by any chance all these are the, if you log in through putty and all the putty sessions will be like this. Okay, so the same way. So when by mistake, instead of performing your activity on one machine, and if you perform in another activity, again it will be a big mess up. Like again, you need to go for the latest backup restoration, or by any chance we don't have any backup, you need to restart, reinstall your operating system and reinitiate everything, or you may need to clone. So the lots of headache will be there basically. So but that is the reason, this many color combinations and all people will be using. So here, I'm straight away using root user, since I know this. Okay, so otherwise you will be using your own user. So for Mark, and for me, mcode, mcode is my global ID in Oracle, so I was habituated and I keep on using that. So mcode, okay, rz, some, mcode is the first name. That every company is having a different strategy actually. So in Oracle, each employee will have some global IDs and all, and there, we will be using that. So mcode. So mcode is your user. They will create a user and password. With that, again, after logging into the with the your user, again you would be connecting to the other servers. So again, this is also not a standard, method you got. Sometimes you may need to work with the VNC. Sometimes you may need to work with the remote desktop. Sometimes you may need to work with the putty. Okay, something like that. Depends on the company. They will be assigning. So they will be defining some strategy to connect to the servers. Okay, so that point of time, you need to understand how people are connecting to the servers, and as soon as you step into any of the environment, what are the this is the first and basic information you need to get from the colleagues or whoever responsible for this. So what are the environments we got? What are the production environments? What are the test environments? What are the development environments? Who is the operating from? Where the operating system support is sitting? Where the technical support is sitting? Where the functional support is sitting? Okay, and what are the do's and the don'ts? Okay, so if anything goes wrong, what is the first point of contact and second point of contact? This is the information you need to gather when you step into the real time first. Okay, so and then, okay, once you log into that, and they will be giving some KT to you, and with the help of that KT, you will be continuing your work. Okay, so though you are having a 20 years of experience, the minimum KT is required for any environment. You will be having experience in the technology, not for the environment, not on the environment. So wherever you go, initial 1 week, straight away nobody will be giving you the machine and ask you to work on the environment. They will be giving some KT. They will be explaining you about the environment. They will be telling you like do's and don'ts, point of contacts, the other stuff on that. So with that environment, take that information properly and follow that. Okay. So fine. Here I'm using root user and password. So basically, this is how it is. Let me. So I'll just keep everything in document, so that as a running notes I will be. Okay. All right. Okay. Fine. So as you know already, if you want to know the host name, okay, this is the command. If you want to know domain name, this is the command. But here it said none, because the domain is attached with the host name itself. Okay. So if you want to know, uname. Okay, so what is the operating system and all, you can find out here, and which user you have connected, and for what group you have connected, and all you can see with this command called ID. Okay, and yeah. This is the command. What exactly? Okay, here it just said the Linux, but what exactly the version and all, if you want to know, okay, this will be this one. Okay, so this is the minimum information basically. Okay, so this is the one, and then yep. So this is how you will be seeing what is your IP address. Okay, I don't need to. Okay, so and ping. Yeah. So yeah, it is responding. So if you want to check whether your others node 2 node 3 is pinging properly or not, so you need to say ping mport 11. Maybe yours is a multi-node installation, database in mport 10 and application in mport 11. So before starting the installation itself, we need to make sure that it's mport 11 is also pinging or not. Otherwise, it should ping properly. Otherwise, there is no point in continuing. Okay, there is no point in executing that. Starting the installation itself. Okay, so you need to go back to Linux people and operating system people, and you need to get the clarity about that. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is the ping command, and this host information under whether it has properly configured or not, you would be seeing on etc host. Okay, if it doesn't set, you need to set it here. Okay, so etc host, and this has configured like this. Okay, so on this one, and this one need to be same. Okay, and whatever here, you can give so many alias. You can give mark, again give space and give mark, and something else you can give. Whatever you give, it will be responding. Those will call as the alias. Okay, so that's what this one. And another thing is, the other demo it asked me about the bash RC, right? So as I said, for every user there would be one base location. Okay, so the user base location. Okay, the moment you log into that particular user, you would be logging into the user base location only. Okay, so see pwd, see for root, this is the base location basically. Okay, so in that base location, if you see ls, if you say ls hyphen a, okay, sorry, let's see. If you say just ls, you'll be seeing these. Okay, so as I said, those files the files which start with the dot, they are called hidden files. Okay, so if those you can see only with the hyphen a command. Okay, so ls hyphen a, if you say ls hyphen a, there are some files, bash underscore profile and bash rc. These two are important files. Okay, so here, if you whatever whenever you log into this particular user, automatically the bash rc or bash underscore profile file will be fired. Whatever information, whatever commands you are keeping in bash rc or bash profile, that will be executed automatically. Okay, so for example, okay, let me see what are the users are. Let's say appld, okay, oracle user is there, let's say. Okay, let's do. So again, as you know, okay, the username, logging and all, you will be doing like this, su hyphen username. Okay, I'm not keeping any explanation to this and all. Okay, so um, I mean, I think that should be okay, right? So particularly if you want for any command, if you want any explanation, please let me know. I'll write some notes there. okay, for any command. You just ping me here. I'll write a note against that particular command. Okay. So you just logged in now. If you see ID, so you'll be seeing Oracle is the username, group is O install, and another group is the DBA. It has connected, and it has created a slash home slash Oracle, as I said. By default it would be creating under slash home, okay, with the username. So if you create a user called Mark, there will be a folder called slash home slash Mark, and whenever you log into that particular user, by default you would be going to slash home slash Mark. So since this user has created it with the Oracle, so slash home slash Oracle. So the moment you log into the user, so you would be moving to slash home slash Oracle. So if you see here, yes, see, you can see dash RC dash profile. Okay, so this is only applicable for Linux. Okay, so if you go to the Solaris machine, or if you go to HPUX machine, or IBM machine, okay, IBM IEX or something, IBM machine, you would be seeing dot profile instead of dash RC. You would be seeing dot profile, and both the behavior of the both the files are same. Okay, so let me keep this information also here. Okay. Okay, so all the hidden files will be seen. If you see that, okay, the same thing. If you don't say ls, if you say simply ls, you won't be seeing. Okay, ls hyphen l, nothing is there. All files are hidden files here. All the files are starting with dot only. So none of the file is a normal file here. Okay, so if you see cat dash rc, so it would be like this. Okay, so let's say in this bash rc we will write welcome to Oracle user or something. Okay, so vi dash rc, echo welcome to Oracle user. Okay, so you can, I mean, normally administrators will be writing for any contact some mark, so 99999 for any issues. Okay, so whatever you write here, it will come. Okay, so let's say I've logged off, and now I am logging into Oracle user. So you'll be seeing that this. So this is how basically, okay, when you install Oracle standalone database, you would be keeping Echo Oracle Home, Echo Oracle Base, Echo so and so. I mean, everything you will be setting. Okay, so that's what the working with environment basically. Okay, so let's say dash RC. So export Oracle underscore home equal to, okay, slash home slash Oracle. Let's say, okay. So export Oracle underscore base equal to slash home. Let's say export. These are the Oracle underscore SID equal to ORCL. Okay. So the same way export path equal to existing path. Okay. So Oracle underscore home bin, something like that. So if you save it, okay. So if I simply okay, I need to exit. So again, when I log in Oracle, okay, so automatically these variables which I have exported should export to the environment. Okay, so if I say Oracle underscore home, yes, okay, so Oracle underscore base, Oracle underscore Oracle underscore SID, you are seeing right. Okay. That's how you will be setting up the environment in standalone database. databases. Okay, not in e-business suite, standalone databases. So basically, for the standalone databases and all, only two or three environment variables will be there, so it's very easy to maintain. Okay, so but but there are some scenarios even in standalone database also under Oracle Home, under one Oracle Home, if you install multiple databases and all, again if you keep something in bash RC, by default when you log in automatically it will be connecting to ORCL. Okay, suppose I'm having another database called test, another database called dev, another database called prod, something like that, the multiple are there, then you can't keep and you can't keep in a bash RC right away and execute all. Okay, so at that point of time, people will be creating some files, environment files, and depends on the requirement. The moment so they log into the environment and they will set that. Also, I will show you for example. Okay, let's do one thing. So that's is that okay? I mean, if I explain these things, because maybe if you are really aware of these things and all, we don't need to waste time. We can jump into the environment. I mean, installation. If it is one of the daily activity, you may feel bored. To be honest, that's why I'm just clarification, just getting the clarification. Is that fine? Shall I go ahead and explain these things, or should I straight away go to the e-business suite installation? Just be aware of these places. And Mohit. All right. Okay. So Mohit. No, no, no. Both are same actually. Both are same. There is no difference. Okay. So both are same. You can either keep it in Bash RC or Bash Group. It doesn't matter. Both behave same. All right. Fine. Thank you. Okay, so here if you see, the first step is download the e-business installation media. Okay, so here I have already done. Okay, so that I will show you from where exactly you will be downloading. So that's I have said e-delivery.oracle.com, and for this you need to have Metalink username and password. Okay. Even your Linux or anything you will be downloading from here only. Okay, so if you say okay. So OEL7, OEL6 and Oracle Linux for something like that you will be writing, and in the same time Oracle point 2 if you say this is this. Oracle e-business. So let's say 12.12 to select it. So whatever version you want to download, you need to select here, and here you need to select the platform. Okay, so x86. Just continue. Okay, so 12.2, then 34 files are there. So then continue. Okay. So these are the files basically. So you have to download all these files here, and you need to keep this. You need to keep in one folder. And then there is a utility I told you, explained you right. That utility you need to install. You need to execute to set the this one, and that will take lots of time. That is the reason I have already configured the stage, and I'll show you the stage here. Okay. So this is already done. Okay. So okay, fine. I'm not going to keep these things and all. Okay. So download them. All right, and set up the host name and domain name. Okay, so these two files you need to cross verify. Okay, so cat. So the host name has properly configured or not, and here also configured or not. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so you need to already configure. Okay, so next one is adjust this etc configuration. Okay, just make sure whether it is there or not. This is for basically release to, maybe you must have done for the R12. I'm sorry, 11G release to installation. Okay, so just verify. Okay, so starting is there. Okay, so you need to add this information. You can still keep it like for some note you can keep. Okay. So you can add all this. Okay, save this one. Oh, sorry, this should do it for the root user. Lines. Okay, save this, and yeah, you have to create a users and groups, and that we are not going to install Prod Vision here or a Prod, and for application. Okay, so let's create two users, and there are multiple ways to create a user from that's anyway operating system people will be looking into that. There is a front end utility here to create a users and adding a group, attaching the group, these things and then you can do. Otherwise, you can do it from the backend as well. Okay, so but anyway, that will be decided by operating system people how they will do. So just who will be giving the username and group name. Okay, so I'm going to create OREA prod. The multiple users I'm creating here. OREA prod for yes, yes. For every, I mean, if you go through the document which I have showed to you, I mean, which I have shared it to you, you know, in that document also it will be mentioned like that. So this is applicable for every installation. All right. Okay. So let me create. Here I'm going with the multi-user configuration. So one is application user and another one is a database user. So here in my case, application user is APPL prod and the database user is ORA prod. And my group would be DB and both I will be assigning to that. Okay. So I've created a user. Okay. So if you see both the things I have created here. Okay. So see. Okay. So I'll be setting up the password also. Yeah. Right. The same way for right. Okay. So the same thing I can do it from the front end also. Okay. So create a add user. So username blah blah blah. Okay. So this one also mentioned. So username you can create and this one. Okay. And the same thing you can see refresh. Yeah, two users Oracle we have created and APPL and yeah. Okay, so one mistake I have done here. Okay, so I need to create this, you know, not I mean, but by default I just said user add this one. Okay, so I need to add the default location also as a parameter here. Okay, that you can set here. Okay, so in my case I'm installing in the user one. Yep. Under U01 I'm installing. Okay, so instead of home, I'll keep U01. For use. So under here DB, and I always make sure primary group is a DB. Right. So from the root user if you say APPL prod. Yeah. Oh, change it right. what the users I have created with the DBA group as a primary, and login or folder. So I will do this and okay. So the same thing. Okay, so two users and passwords I have set, and next. So for inventory, okay, so it's up to you basically if you want to create, I mean, if you want to redirect your inventory to a specific location, so by default it would be creating under etc. Okay, even the inventory also will be creating etc. So if you want to set it to some other, some other location, you can use this command. Okay, so here, so ours is 0, 1. So the PPL code, and we can move to create a directory called for our inventory. Okay. Use the proper privileges. So we are exporting one line to this inventory location. Provide the privileges. Okay, so there is another file called limits.com under etc. No, sir. So OEI let so just make sure this is okay. Maybe I mean since I have installed release 2 as already in this particular machine, this parameters are already there. If not, I mean just you need to install. Okay, I mean you need to place that information. Right, this file also you need to, okay, and also this file. These 3 files. Okay, that's all prerequisites, and yeah, the next thing is very important thing is cross verifying the RPMs. Okay, so there is a, I mean we'll come to this step later. So there is a concept called YUM. Okay, so the Oracle has a Oracle OEL is providing that. Otherwise, so RPM command. Okay. So RPM minus QA. Let's say the reference is. Right. So this is how we know the list will be the list is provided in the document. What are the RPMs are required for your Oracle business R12.2 for this version. So you need to identify each and every RPM. Okay, so something like whether it is applied or not, RPM hyphen QA. Okay, you will be giving the RPM name. If you want to install RPM minus IVH RPM name, I mean RPM file name you need to give. Okay, so anyway, again, the list of RPMs will be provided to will be fetching that list of RPMs from the document, and will be providing that one to the operating system people. They would be installing this, installing RPM. The list, providing the list is your responsibility, not the installing the RPM is just for your understanding. I'm just telling you, RPM minus IVH is for the installation, RPM hyphen E to arrange to deinstall the RPM, and RPM-QA to query the RPM. Okay, so basically what I use it is, since it is a OEL, okay, there is a feature called YUM, okay, which will be installing the all the required RPMs, to the Oracle e-business. Okay, Oracle e-business or released for, the released. See, first we need to make sure whether your machine is pinging with the internet or not. Internet need to be enabled in your Linux server. Okay, so ping google.com, it should respond. Okay, I have already configured this machine with that, and even in here, if you see, the Google is coming. So not every. Daddy. Just a minute, please. I want the point. Hey guys. So that's what the first see. Basically, not every customer allows internet on their servers. Okay, so this is just for my comfort purpose. I have configured like this, and again, that's the headache of operating system. If they are allowed to use YUM, it's very easy. And again, YUM is applicable for only OEL, Oracle Enterprise Linux, not for the Red Hat Enterprise Linux, or not for the Solaris, or not for any other. Okay, so for Solaris, for any other operating systems, they have, they have to download the required RPM so from the internet, and they need to transfer to the server, and they need to install by using RPM minus IVH, the file name. Okay, so here, I have already, for my comfort purpose, I have already configured YAM. Okay, in the sense, internet I have already configured. Okay, I'll see whether it is required RPMs already installed or not. Okay, so I have connected, and this is the command to install RPMs for release 2. Okay, so it will automatically identify the operating system and the listed RPMs, and if this RPM, this M is already having the list of required RPMs. So if that is really matched, then it will be okay. It will say up to date. Otherwise, it will be connecting to the server, which is this one, public oracle.com, public OEL6 respo. Okay, it will be connecting to that particular website, and it will download requested. See, Oracle, this particular thing is not there. So now if I say yes, it will download and it will install automatically. Completed. So whatever RPMs are required, it will install automatically. Okay, so for R12 also you can transfer. Okay. Nothing to do. Okay, so the only this particular RPM is required, and it is already installed. Otherwise, what you need to do, you need to take this one, and you need to go to like Okay, so I'm sorry, I need to come here. So you need to find out which one it is there, and you need to, okay, so say it will be downloaded like this. Okay, and you need to use WinSCP, transfer the file to that, and up to like that. Okay, so do you want me to install manually and show, or is that fine? Mohit, this? Shall I continue to the next step, or do you want me to install manually? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, fine, fine. Okay, fine. All right. Okay, fine. So next, so as I showed you in the e-delivery, okay, so you need to download all the zip files and you need to put it in some location. After that, unzip only this particular file. It will be giving you the start CD stuff, and if you say build stage data stage, it will be giving you this information. Okay, so what is the operating system, and here you will be selecting two, and after that it will extract everything. Okay, so automatically, and it will be giving you this stage like this. So this is the folder I have. Okay, yes. So this start CD, EBS install media, tech install media, tech patches. So these four folders you would be getting when you do that. So you will be going to this. You will be going to what is this one? Run install. Here RapidBridge utility will be there, and you will be installing, you will be initiating that. So that need to be, the display need to be set and all, and here I will be installing from this one. Okay. So CD stage. Okay, so let's say this. Yeah, so all these windows you have already seen at the time of explanation. Okay, so just e-business suite explanation, like the technology stack, Oracle database, middleware, okay, the 12.2, the technology stack, database technology stack, e-business suite in the sense of products and okay. So once it is done, so here you will be asking like install e-business suite release 12.2 or upgrade. So when you upgrade, again it's the different process actually. So this 12 point first you need to upgrade the database, and to install the file system of R12.2 you will be using this. Okay, so that's a step-by-step procedure is there, and you will be getting Metalink. Okay, so you'll be selecting the install Oracle Business Suite. We are not using the Express install. Okay, so this is where it will be asking like you want me to, the email configuration and your support username. So your what do you call it? Oracle support username and password you need to provide. Email ID and password you need to provide, so that it will keep on contacting Oracle, and it will be identifying whether is there any security patches have been released or not, the other mandatory patches have been released or not, and accordingly you need to take your decision. Okay, so doesn't require. So yes. Okay, so the configuration file. So as we said, the configuration file will be created, and the help of that configuration file, the same configuration file we need to use, and you need to use in the other nodes when you go for multi-installation. Okay, so the same thing here. Okay, so if you are already having the configuration file, means if you are installing a multi-node installation, and if you create the configuration file on the node 1, you will be copying that configuration file to node 2, and there in the node 2 you will be using this one, and you will browse it and you will go ahead. Okay, so here we are going with the create a configuration file. So this is what okay, the port pool number will be providing like this. The file system 10, file system 100. It all depends on if the by any chance this port pool is not free, then you would be going with the different port pool. Okay, so see your database port is 1521. See your web listener is 8000. Okay, suppose if I choose 2 here, see your database would be 1523 and your web one 8002. Okay, so like that it will be, so automatically it will adjust. If you really wanted to edit the ports, okay, and you want to assign something else apart from the listed one, okay? So you can click on edit and you can write whatever you want. Okay, again you need to coordinate with the operating system people whether that particular port has been has been using by someone else or not, or whether it is free or not. This information you will be getting from the operating system people. Okay, so next here is the place where you will be selecting whether you will be going with the Vision demo database or fresh database. So here you will be seeing both. Okay, so fresh and Vision. So here I'll be going with the fresh now. Okay, so and here the operating system. So from your etc host it will pick automatically. Okay, so it will pick and it will give it to imported 10 and the domain name, your version. Okay, so your database user you need to provide here. Your database user would be ORA prod. Okay, and the group is this one only, and the path it should be, we have created u01, right, u01, and the folder is ORA prod. The path need to be edited as per your file system definition. Okay, and then you will continue. So if you really wanted to change something else, you want to choose from the browser, browser, so you can click on a browse button and you can select whatever you want. Okay, if you really know it, you can type it here. That's it, just for your comfortable purpose. Okay, so if you want track, you can select rack and you can select the rack nodes under the other shared filing system. Okay, okay, so this is the licensing by default. These are the mandatory products you need to install. And apart from that, if you want anything, you can tick here like this. Okay, so as I said earlier, once you enable it, you can't disable. Why? Because once you enable it, automatically it will be showing like this gray color disabled mode. So you can't disable. So go with the default one as of now, and the country specific now. Okay, let's go with the US. Default by default people will be going with the um, okay, fine. So basically, it is something like US is the default one, and if you want to add some other and this one, you need to add here. Okay, so I've just put United Kingdom. So here, multiple languages. If you are going with the multiple languages, you need to select here French, Arabic, or Dutch. And again, before selecting this, you need to have you need to have the stage for that particular languages also. Okay. So territory is America by default, and the character set, as I said, choose UTF-8. UTF-8 automatically the other things also will be set, and you don't need to change your character set again and again basically. Okay, so it supports UTF-8 supports each and every other character set. So this is where your application related information you will be providing. Okay, so your primary host name is Port10 and the domain name is same, and this apps OS user is not APPL user, it is APPL prod. Okay, and the location would be U01. It's not OR prod. You need to amend this APPL prod. APPL prod. Yeah, accordingly it will be adjusting the browser information. Okay. Okay, So in the next step, WebLogic, the username is this one, and you need to provide the passwords here. Okay, and here apps OS user password. Okay, so for the database and these things and all, if you want to change the default passwords, and you can change it here itself, apps password, something else, and sys password, sysadmin password, system password, this and all, you can change it here. Okay, otherwise, if you leave it alone, I mean, it will take the default one. So other things, you just make sure, it's very important. What and all passwords you are keeping here, you have to note it down somewhere. And there is a chance of there is a chance of changing these passwords and all, but it's a big headache work. Okay, so here, so it's my single node data. Since it is a single node, it would be going like this. And if you want to make it a multi node, you can click here and you can add multiple servers here. So m-code 11 and the other information. Okay, so here, I mean, when you click on edit services, so web server, this is the batch processing is related to the concurrent server, root server, web administration, web logics related. So this and all you will be providing here. So multi-node, if you really, I mean, as I said, on the multi-node installation related configuration also you would be giving in the first node. Okay, that which is nothing but the primary node, which is nothing but the database node. So there itself you need to provide all the information. So if you are going with the multi-node installation, you would be adding add server, and multiple you can add. And again, those server details need to be configured in the etc host machine. And both, I mean, both all the servers need to be in touch, means should be in the same network. And okay, so once it is done, the configuration file it will be creating, right? That configuration file will be need to be copied to the other machine. And then the third screen, load from the configuration is there, right? There you will simply take the load from the configuration and automatically it will continue. You don't need to provide again all the parameter character set, these and all, you don't need to provide. So next, once after providing this information, if I click on the next, it would be verifying. Okay, so as I showed you on list, the green color tick mark, explanatory mark, and cross mark and all, so that and all will be verified, and it will be giving a report to you. And based on that report, will be deciding go or no go. Go in the sense, if you get all the green color tick marks, yes, it's safe to go. Otherwise, it is not safe to go, and you have to troubleshoot it and continue. Let's see. It's UI. So yep, looks like everything is fine. So it will be verifying the port availability, database installation checks. If you click here, it will be verifying what and all it has verified. Okay, so file disk space, so how much is required and how much is there already. Okay, so whether it is sufficient or not, web server install requirements, middle tier, OS user, file system, host name, domain name verification, and the system utilities, everything. Okay, so by any chance, if anything goes wrong, you can go back to the server and you can fix that issue and click on retry. Again, it will be verifying and it will just give the report. Okay, so once you say next, next, it will be and so, yes. Okay, so it will start installation. What I'll do is, I'll leave it like this, and the next class means Monday. Okay, so I mean, I'll make sure whether it is installed successfully or not, and I'll keep the window like that. Okay, so in the Monday class, I'll be seeing the last all the green color tick marks has come or not. Okay, so if it is there, if not, we'll be verifying why it is not. We will be verifying the log files and why it is not, where exactly the error has come up and if it is yes, we will log into the server and we will see whether they successfully logging in or not. Okay, so it would take 3 to 4 hours of time. Okay, so we can close the session. Okay, if you got any doubts, please let me know. We'll discuss. Otherwise, you can close the session and we'll get back on Monday. So yeah, I have already recorded this session. I will upload the session. I will share this session to Oxford. So Oxford will upload in some location. Right? No problem. That's basically for release to, I mean, database parameters. It is memory settings for the database. Okay, it's only applicable to for 11G release to. It's nothing to do with the application. It's a database memory settings. If you see 11G, I mean, business route 11.5.10 or 11.5.9 or 11.5.10, you won't be seeing these settings is CTL and you won't be doing. You will be making, you will be creating the users and a group, attaching to that and setting up the stage, verifying the RPMs and install it. It will be like that. Yes, exactly. This is the part of a DB installation. Yes, that only for release 2. I mean 11G, release 1 and release 2 both for both. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Have a nice weekend and see you on Monday same time. So I think meantime I need to fix that issue. Why the desktop is not loading through that connectivity. How can you live? Yeah. Thank you. Is that Daddy? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll see. Just give me a few minutes. I'll get back to you. Thank you. Bye, okay, guys. Yeah. Bye bye. Thank you, Daddy.